Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. But what if these mysterious sightings aren't extraterrestrial visitors or secret military tech, but a form of pre-life floating in our own atmosphere?
Are we talking about some kind of atmospheric aliens?
Not exactly aliens, but something potentially just as strange. We're diving into a fascinating scientific paper that suggests some UAPs might be plasma-based entities existing in Earth's upper atmosphere. It's a theory that could explain centuries of sightings, from ancient Rome to modern-day Pentagon reports.
Plasma entities? That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. How does this theory actually work?
Well, it's based on some pretty solid science. The paper, authored by researchers including R. Joseph and C. Impey, proposes that these plasma entities exist in the thermosphere, which is about 50 to 600 kilometers above Earth's surface. They suggest these plasmas can form distinct shapes, move in seemingly intelligent ways, and even interact with each other.
Okay, so we're talking about the fourth state of matter here, right? Not solid, liquid, or gas, but ionized particles. But how does that translate to the orbs and lights people have been reporting for centuries?
Exactly. The researchers argue that these plasma entities could be responsible for many UAP sightings. They cite NASA Space Shuttle footage showing glowing, pulsating objects up to a kilometer in size. What's really interesting is how these plasmas behave. They've been observed descending into thunderstorms, almost as if they're feeding on the electromagnetic energy.
That's wild. So, are we saying these things are alive? Like conscious beings made of plasma?
Not quite. The researchers are careful to say this isn't life as we typically define it. There's no DNA or cellular structure, but they do exhibit behaviors that seem lifelike. The paper even uses terms like hunter-predator behavior and energy cannibalism to describe how these plasmas interact.
Energy cannibalism? Now, that's a metal band name if I ever heard one. But seriously, how does this theory explain some of the more bizarre UAP reports we've heard about?
Well, it could account for a lot of the characteristics often reported in UAP sightings. The glowing appearance, rapid changes in direction, and attraction to electromagnetic sources all fit with the behavior of these hypothetical plasma entities. But you're right, it doesn't explain everything. The paper acknowledges that some reports, especially those suggesting advanced technology, might have other explanations.
So we're not ruling out little green men just yet?
Ha, no, we're definitely not. But this theory does offer a fascinating potential explanation for a lot of UAP sightings throughout history, and it's not just wild speculation. The paper is based on actual NASA footage, computer analysis of flight paths, and comparisons to plasmas created in labs.
You know, what I find really interesting about this is how it challenges our understanding of what life could be. If these plasma entities exist, they'd be a completely different form of organization in the universe, right?
Absolutely. It really pushes the boundaries of how we define life and consciousness, and it's not just theoretical. The researchers are proposing ways to study these phenomena further. They suggest using satellites to attract and capture these plasmas for study.
I wonder what the implications of this could be. If we confirm the existence of these plasma entities, how might that change our understanding of life in the universe?
Well, it could be pretty profound. For one, it might suggest that life, or at least complex, organized systems, could exist in environments we previously thought were inhospitable. It could expand our search for extraterrestrial life beyond just looking for planets with liquid water.
Right, because if life can exist as plasma in our upper atmosphere, who's to say it couldn't exist in the atmospheres of gas giants or even in interstellar space?
Exactly. And it might even have implications for how life on Earth began. Some researchers have proposed that the precursors to biological life might have formed in the upper atmosphere before making their way to the surface.
Wow, so we could be talking about the origins of life itself. But let's bring this back down to Earth for a moment. How does this theory connect to some of the more recent UAP sightings we've been hearing about?
Well, It's interesting you mention that. There's been a recent spate of mysterious drone sightings, particularly in New Jersey and New York. From late November to December 2023, there were numerous reports of unidentified drones over military bases and populated areas. The FAA even issued temporary flight restrictions over Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. Didn't it cause quite a stir in government circles?
It sure did. Senators were writing to the FBI, FAA, and Department of Homeland Security. There were calls to deploy drone detecting technology. But here's where it gets interesting. On December 12th, there was a joint statement from multiple agencies saying these drone sightings posed no national security or public safety risk.
That seems like a pretty carefully worded statement. They didn't actually explain what these objects were, did they?
No, they didn't. And that's where theories like this plasma entity hypothesis come into play. Could some of these sightings be explained by natural phenomena we don't fully understand yet?
It's a fascinating possibility. But I have to ask, what do you think people should take away from all this? How should we approach these kinds of reports and theories?
I think the key is to keep an open mind while maintaining a healthy skepticism. We shouldn't jump to conclusions, but we also shouldn't dismiss reports just because they challenge our current understanding. It's important to look at the evidence critically, pay attention to multiple witness reports, official investigations, and peer-reviewed scientific studies.
That makes sense. And I guess it's also important to be aware of our own biases and preconceptions, right?
Absolutely. We all have our own beliefs and experiences that shape how we interpret information. The important thing is to be willing to question our assumptions and consider new possibilities. Whether these phenomena turn out to be plasma entities, advanced technology, or something we haven't even conceived of yet, the journey of discovery is valuable in itself.
Well said. So, what's next in this field? What should we be watching for?
Well, the researchers behind the plasma entity theory are proposing some pretty exciting ways to study these phenomena. They suggest setting up observatories in areas where UAP sightings are frequent, like around nuclear power plants or specific geographical regions known for intense electromagnetic activity. They're also proposing missions using satellites that could generate electromagnetic fields to attract, capture, and study these plasmas.
That sounds like some serious sci-fi level research. I can't wait to see what they find out.
Me too. And who knows, in a few years, we might have a completely different understanding of our atmosphere and the phenomena that occur in it. It just goes to show that there's still so much to discover, even right here on Earth.
It's a reminder that the universe is full of mysteries, and some of them might be right above our heads.
Exactly. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, there might be more going on up there than meets the eye. Keep watching, keep questioning, and keep an open mind. You never know what you might discover.
Well, that's certainly given me a lot to think about. Thanks for exploring this fascinating topic with us.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies and your mind open to the possibilities.